Welcome Nomads to the Nomad Nation Network. I am your host and fellow Nomad, Step Van Rav. This is Nomad News for September, lucky Friday the 13th, 2019. Before we get to our first story, guys, do me a little favor and look right down there and click that little red subscribe button. Be sure to click the little bell right next to it. That way you get a new notification every single time that there's a new episode of Nomad News. That way you guys stay in the know when it comes to everything in the Nomad Nation. Now, to our first story. All right, guys, our first order of business on this episode is going to be, we hit 4,000 subscribers. I want to thank all of you guys and all of the new subscribers that we have. We're still a tiny channel, but I'm pretty stoked that we finally hit 4,000 subscribers. And I want to thank all of you and all of you new subscribers that are just joining us. I also want to say that I have been actually a little bit under the weather the last few days. And about a week and a half actually. I've been battling this thing that I've got, just haven't felt very well. And that brings me to a topic of being sick while you're van lifing. I will say that it is probably one of my very least favorite things when you are a nomad is when you are under the weather. It really, it can really be challenging, even way more than living in a house or sticks and bricks. And I have not been feeling well. And there's another nomad I'm going to talk about later on in another story who got injured and had to go to an ER and then was having some problems, getting in and out of his rig after being injured. So that's going to be another story. But anyway, guys, I want to also, I'm being selfish. These first stories are just all about myself. Just want to let you guys know that I just got through doing a van tour or a new rig tour of my first rig that I spent 2 years full time in, which was my old Dodge camper van Bertha. And I'm getting Bertha ready to sell. Just got her all cleaned up and got all the inside cleaned up and freshened up, and she's looking pretty good. Still got to do a little painting and a few cosmetic things, but she's ready to sell. So I'm going to be putting a new tour video up. We're going to give you a preview of that right now and roll it.
What's up, guys? I am Rav with Nomad News, and I'm here today because I'm going to be giving you a tour of one of these two rigs. Can you guess which one? It's actually going to be this one. So I have been a full-time nomad for going on 3 years. I was full-time in this vintage 1982 Dodge Classic, one of a kind. There's not another one that I know of on the planet. As of right now, I still own both of these, but I have been working my butt off to get this one ready to sell. So today we're going to give you a new tour of this one, and she is for sale as of right now for $10,500. So follow me, guys, and we'll go inside and take a look. All right, so this is Bertha. She is a 1982 Dodge B+. This is a fiberglass shell, so you don't have to worry about tin or any of that stuff. The whole shell is fiberglass on the outside, which was one of the things I liked because it stays a lot cooler in the summer. A lot of cabinet space. This is the little couch seating area right here. All of this stuff, the pillows, everything will go with Bertha unless the new owner doesn't want it, and then I'll take it out. She's got a little 24-inch TV with a VCR. All these remotes. This remote is for the VCR. This remote is for the TV, and this remote is for the stereo in the front, which actually has a DVD player in it as well. And this is the little dinette area, and this entire thing right here turns into like a queen-size bed. There's a piece that slides out that goes across right here, and then this pulls out, and then this folds down, and then this goes down, and this entire thing turns into a bed. Then you have a huge fire escape hatch up here that opens up. You can actually pop this open because this is actually a fire escape hatch. and that is actually roof access. You can use that to get on the roof. All right, this is an air conditioner that I had installed in here. This was a vintage camper that did not have an air conditioner when I bought it, and it was not easy to find somebody to install this because nobody wanted to install an air conditioner on a vintage camper. But I got it installed in Joshua Tree or in Yucca Valley, and it is a 13.5 thousand BTU air conditioner, and it'll keep this unit very nice, keeps it very nice and cool. Plenty of cabinet space up here.
Yeah, so that's a new tour video that's going to be going up on my other channel, Nomad Nation. So if you're not subscribed to that channel and you'd like to see that van tour, I will put a link. I'll put a card right up here to the channel. And you're going to want to subscribe to that channel so you can see all the details that's going to be coming up on that, my 1982 vintage one-of-a-kind camper van that is going to be for sale and on the market. All the details are going to be over there. So on to our first news story. It's going to be a story that I actually saw a couple of weeks ago, and then somebody actually mentioned it to me in the comments, and it is about famous YouTube personality, political commentator Tim Pool. Tim Pool, if you don't know who he is, he does political commentary on YouTube, and he was one of the founding members of Vice News, and he has actually just bought a van, and 3 days ago he actually did a van tour of his new van. We will show you a little bit of that episode right now. Roll it.
That behind me is a van. It's my van, and it took a long time to build. I bought the van back in November. It is now September, and it is finally done. It could use with some improvements, but let me show you the van. The latest improvement was a lift and bigger tires. Now, I know I posted photos before and people were making fun of the tires because they were too small, but these are the big tires. So, there's a lot of questions that need to be answered. Why do I have a van? What's the point of the van? And more importantly, what's inside the van? First, let's look inside. I'll give you a tour showing you the outside of the van in a second as well, but check this out. So right in front of us right here, well, that's a shower.
Yeah, so Tim got him a van. Now, he is not going to be, don't believe he's going full Nomad. I believe he is just going to be using the van as kind of a production rig, which is what I'm using my Snap-on truck too, is I bought it with that in mind, that I want to use it as a production rig as well. So that's kind of what he's doing. He's got the van, the new Sprinter van. I guess it's taken him almost a year to have it built out. He had it professionally built out, but it took him almost a year to get it done. But he is going to be hitting the road and doing some on-location YouTube commentary videos, I guess. So anyway, I thought that was pretty interesting, and I thought I would mention it. There's some other mainstream famous people like Wee Man and just some other that are getting into the van life. It is very, very, very popular right now. So anyway, guys, on to our next news story is going to entail Mr. Chrome from VANCITY Van Life. Congratulations, Chrome. Chrome just went over the 40K line and subscribers. I believe he's sitting right around 40,200 subscribers. So congratulations, Chrome, for hitting 40,000 subscribers. That guy did it he's done that in a very, very short amount of time, but he actually churns out a lot of videos. But he started his channel after I started mine. So that tells you how much progress he's made, because my channel is older than his. I hit 4,000 subscribers and Chrome hit 40,000 subscribers. So I guess that'll tell you who people prefer to watch and who people really like. And Chrome's got a great personality, so I can understand that. And on to our next story. I'm sorry. I forgot to say, he hit 40,000. Let's rewind. Chrome hit 40,000 subscribers, but he is also redoing his van. He actually painted his van about maybe a month ago, and I actually watched that video, and he hand painted it with spray paint. And when he was talking about that, I was like pretty much shaking my head, but it actually came out very nice, and he was pretty proud of the way it came out, and he really liked it. So, hey, I mean, whatever works for you. So it seems to work for him, and he seems to like that. So, did you notice that I turned the mic upside down or back upright? Yeah, I can't make up my mind exactly how I want this mic. So, I keep trying different things, and sooner or later, I think I'm going to find the way I want to keep the mic. Just haven't found it quite yet. All right, let's see. So anyway, Chrome is redoing the inside of his van. He's tearing everything out, put in new linoleum flooring, just doing some freshening up of his van, and he's actually having some cabinets actually built for the van this time, because if you've watched his videos, his old cabinets, he actually they were just a pre-made cabinet that he got like at IKEA. I don't think it was IKEA, but they were just some regular commercial cabinets that he picked up. But now he's actually having some professional cabinetry and stuff built, and I'm excited to see what he does. It looks like it's going to be pretty nice. He's pretty inventive the way he puts everything together in the van, even when he used stuff that he just pre-bought that was pre-made furniture. It looked pretty nice. So it'll be interesting to see what these new professional cabinets look like. Anyway, guys, on to our next story. And that is going to be Mr. Box Truck CORY is going to be having, in one of our last episodes, I talked about Box Truck CORY. Box Truck CORY was our small YouTuber shout out in that episode. And Box Truck CORY is going to be having a live stream today, actually, at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. And when I talked about me being sick and I was going to talk about another Nomad who had been hurt, it was actually CORY. And if we can get together and I can get a time set up, I think I'm going to get CORY to call into the show, and we're going to talk a little bit about what happened with him, because I was talking to him through emails about 2 weeks ago before I got sick, and talking to him, and he informed me that he was at the ER, or that he was in the hospital or at the ER, and I was like, what? Because I didn't know what was going on, and he informed me that he had been injured and that he was in a lot of pain, because I was talking to him about the episode of the shout out and stuff that I did in the episode that he was the small YouTuber, the VanLife YouTuber. And we were talking, and then he was talking about he couldn't talk much because he was in a lot of pain and he was at the ER. So we got a little bit in further discussion about that, and he was telling me that he was having a really hard time. And this is something that we don't really think about being nomads, is what do you do when you're sick? Like I was. I was really, I ended up going to a friend of mine's house because I found for the first time that my rig really didn't have the accommodations that I actually really wanted, being sick. So I'm not going to go into any details, but it was something that I really didn't. I've been doing this for going on 3 years. I've never been to a point where I've been sick several times with the flu and stuff, but this was a time where I decided I needed to go lay down in like in a real bed, and so that's what I did, and spent a couple of days recuperating and just relaxing and just not van lifing. So that was another thing in my first story that I wanted to clarify to you guys. I've said this and said this and said this, but there's some kind of rumor out there or something that I'm not nomadic, that I've went static. And that's not true. I still live in my truck. My Snap-on truck is parked right out there. I don't know how many times I have to say this. I say it almost every single episode. This is my office. This is not my house. This is not where I live. This is my office at work. I live in a 2003 MT45 Snap-on truck. I mean, it's almost to the point it's getting frustrating. Somebody said that one of the other news channels was saying that I'm no longer nomadic or something. So I'm not even sure what that rumor is or what people are talking about. Yes, I still live in a Snap-on truck, and I have my old rig, Bertha, that's parked in my buddy Noah's driveway. It's for sale. But I do not have a house. I live as a nomad. Anyway, just enough of that rant. So, I talked to Box Truck Corey. I may get him to try to call into the show, and we may discuss a little bit about, the struggle that he was going through and the challenges that he was facing being injured. When I talked to him, he basically told me that he was actually having a hard time just getting in and out of his rig. And just to go get something to eat or to go to the grocery store or anything was a very big challenge for him. And again, when we start thinking about the van life, and if you're thinking about getting into van life, that's just, it's really something that I never even thought of. I mean, but even I could see the same thing with my rig. I mean, if I was really injured, I could definitely see where it would be challenging to get up and down the steps into my rig. And, it's something that we should probably think about. But, it's the same deal, though. If you have a house, you still got to get in and out of your house. So, I don't know. I think, Box Truck Corey, I think Corey's truck sits up a little higher. So, it might have been harder for him to get down, to get down from the steps on his truck. Anyway, guys, we're going to move on to the next story, and it's a sad one. Evidently, Scott and Terry from Destination Open Road, they lost their beloved dog Girl, who was actually 17 years old. So our condolences and our hearts go out to Scott and Terry from Destination Open Road for losing their beloved dog Girl. I've been there, so our pets are just like a part of our extended family, or they're just like, it's amazing how attached we get to our animals. But I know I did as well when I lost my dog. It was very, very hard on me. So I totally get it, and I totally understand, and it's just a little bit of sad news that we wanted to wish our thoughts are with Scott and Terry. Anyway, guys, on to our shout out of this episode of Nomad News. Our shout out is going to go to ZenQuest Journey. Tina with ZenQuest Journey. You are our shout out, our small van life YouTuber shout out of this episode of Nomad News is again going to go to Tina with ZenQuest Journey. Tina's got a little bit over 2,000 subscribers. Looks like 2,013 subscribers. So she just broke the 2,000 mark, and we wanted to give a shout out to Tina. And I actually met Tina this year at RTR, and she's a hoot. She likes to dance. So I guess if you like dancing, there's a lot of her dancing on her channel. Now, I don't watch her channel all that much, but I do catch a video here and there. So if you want to head over and check out Tina's channel, I will link it as always, as the rest of the channels that we talked about. I will link them in the description below, and you can head over, and if you enjoy Tina's content, you can subscribe and tell her that you heard about her here on Nomad News. Anyway, guys, I think we've come to the end of this journey on this episode. I just want to thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I really want to thank you guys so much for the 4,000 subscribers. It's been a long journey, but we finally hit the 4,000 subscriber mark, and hopefully we'll hit the 10,000 subscriber mark before RTR next year. That's the goal anyway. So if you haven't subscribed and you made it this far into the video, if you'd do me a favor and look down there and hit that little red subscribe button, I truly would appreciate it. If you have any news tips, you can email me here at nomadnewstv@gmail.com and send me your tips or send me your questions, send me whatever you have going on. I do want to address that really quick because I did end up adding a TV to the end of Nomad News. As many of you know, our name was just Nomad News, but when I registered a domain name for Nomad Nation, Nomad Nation was taken, so I ended up making that Nomad Nation TV. And then when I tried to get a email address for this channel, nomadnews@gmail.com, of course, Nomad News was taken. So I ended up adding a TV to the end of Nomad News. So when people were trying to email me, I would tell them just email me at Nomad News. And then they would not put the TV in there, and then they could not get the email to work. I went through this like 4 or 5 times, back and forth. Hey, you have to put a TV on the end of the Nomad News. What? What are you talking about? There's no TV. So to make everything more uniform and to make it simpler and so people understand. So if you want to email, the channel name is now Nomad News TV. If you want to email me, you'll email me at nomadnewstv@gmail.com. There's a TV on the end of the Nomad News. People could not understand that. And I got so tired of trying to explain it to people, and they just couldn't understand the concept. So hopefully this will clear up any confusion now, and it'll work the way it's supposed to work. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of Nomad News. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. And remember, everything you ever wanted is sitting right on the other side of fear. Peace. Safe travels. Until the next time.